If you have ever been photographing boudoir and you have noticed a weird little pattern showing up on the lingerie of your client and you've been like, what the heck is that? Good news, I'm going to tell you what it is and I'm going to tell you how to fix it really quickly and really easily in Camera Raw. All right, so let's just jump right in. First and foremost, what the heck is that? It's something called the Moiré effect. And it's like an interference pattern happening between the grid, the pattern of the lingerie or the clothing, and the grid of the pixels in your camera. The two grids, the two patterns are not lining up correctly. And it's, pissing your camera off. So it's going to create this illusion that there's pattern there when there isn't. Let me show you on this client. So this client signed an anonymous release, so I get to show you one of her photos. And when I was editing it, it's not been retouched yet, but when I was working on editing it, I zoomed in on her outfit, and wouldn't you know, there's this pattern. And the very first time I came across this, when I was editing way back in the day, I've been doing this for 8 years now, I didn't know what the heck this was. And I didn't even know how to go to Google and search for it. I thought I was going to have to hand retouch out all of these lines. Stressed me out. Eventually, thankfully, I did Google the correct, keywords to get to the Moiré effect. And since then, I have found a much, much easier way than trying to do all of this by hand to fix this. So what you're going to need is, a photo with Moiré effect happening, this right here, this pattern. And then you're also going to need Bridge, Adobe Camera Raw. And what we're going to do is take our image, we're going to open it up in Raw, we're going to grab onto our mask. Well, we want to go and create a new mask. I'm going to use a brush. My brush is already set up for what I want, size-wise, feather-wise. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to create a mask over the top of where I see most of this effect happening. Okay, I'm happy with that. So there's our mask. Within this mask panel, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, and you might not see it because maybe your detail panel isn't extended, we'll click detail. And there is a slider right here called Moiré Reduction. That's going to be your best friend. That's going to fix all of our problems for us. If I slide to the left, let's zoom in here a little bit. Nothing really happens over here, but if I slide it to the right, it disappears. And we didn't have to do hardly anything. The rule of thumb, in my opinion, is to adjust the slider just until it's gone. We don't need to go any farther than that. If I do go all the way, it kind of, removes a little more detail. So let's try to keep as much detail as we can. Let's see, it looks like right about there is where I'm going to keep this. And now the Moiré effect is gone. Yay! We can open this up in Photoshop. We could finish retouching it and it's good to go. The reason to me you would want to get rid of this effect is that I feel like it's distracting. We don't want to take away from the beauty of our clients. And that pattern on lingerie, I find it to be very distracting. I wouldn't want my clients to open up their album or look at their images on their phone and be distracted by that. So I'm going to remove it every time if I can. And this is just so easy. Adobe makes it so easy to remove with this Moiré effect slider. You can reduce it, easy peasy. That took what? 10 seconds? Totally worth your time. And then our clients get images where they feel and look amazing. And nothing is distracting or taking away from how awesome that they look. And that's the goal, right? That's the goal with boudoir. So I hope this was helpful. And if you've never used this Moiré reduction slider, now you can give it a whirl I do believe Lightroom also has a Moiré reduction slider, but I don't use Lightroom, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure there's one in there. And at least now you know how to do it in Bridge. So you have one way of getting rid of it. If this was helpful, awesome. Please stick around in my channel, subscribe, because I'm trying to put out a new YouTube video every single Saturday. I've been doing Boudoir for 8 years. I realized right now I didn't introduce myself. I'm Alicia. I'm a boudoir photographer in Wisconsin. Like I said, I've been doing this for 8 years now, almost 9. January is going to be 9. Oh, that's crazy. And I've just, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've had to teach myself a lot of stuff. And if I can share what I've learned so that you do not waste your time with the same mistakes, so that you do not waste your time trying to read through a bunch of Google articles and figuring all of this stuff out like I had to do, great. I hope I just made this a lot easier for you. We put out a new video every single Saturday. Leave a comment. I love talking to all of you. Let me know if this was helpful. I would love to hear it. And I will see you all again next Saturday with another boudoir video. Bye!